Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby, and I am back with another video. So I have multiple topics today about what has been going on in the media in regards to the Queen of Tejano. So the first topic I'm going to talk about is the interview that Pete Astudillo did with a guy that looks exactly like AB. Like, he even sounds like AB. He couldn't play AB in the series as young AB. He could have played AB as they got older, because he looked just like him, sound just like him. But y'all see in a minute. Smooth Vega. Yeah, Smooth Vega, or that's the name of his show. So I'm gonna let you watch this clip. I have a couple of clips from that interview, but I'm gonna let you watch the first clip and I'm gonna give my opinion about that.
The generations that come in after our generation is like, now we have the social media era and the YouTube era, and people are consuming, digital content, just different the way that we did when we were younger. And so it's really important for these platforms to really, shed light and give flowers to our legends. And like I said, man, you've played a big part in our culture. So I want to tell your story.
That clip was about Smooth Vega basically giving Pete his props, giving him, basically his props for keeping Selena's legacy alive, and also acknowledging that Pete himself is a legend, and that, his fans and the community should give credit where it's due and give them their flowers, like he said, while they're here. And he's commended him for, being a big part of Selena's career and life, and, establishing his own career. So that clip was about that, and my opinion about that is he's right. Yes, I feel like he's a legend in his own right. I don't follow his music 100, I don't follow his music, but he is a great writer because he co-wrote a lot of Selena's songs that we all know and love. So, and then he made a name for himself after leaving the group. So he deserves the recognition, and he deserves his flowers while he's here. And, he is one of the, reasons why Selena is a household name in terms of her music, because he helped write a lot of the popular music songs that she sung. So, yeah. The next clip is about how Pete feels about the series, and I will let you see that clip. Here it is.
Mm-hmm. There was a delay from the time that it came out to the time that you watched it. What are your thoughts of the series in terms of the accuracy, in terms of the portrayal, and just in terms of the series as a whole? How did you feel about it?
You know what? It was really good, man. It was really good. I mean, my congratulations to all the actors, just in case they're watching, and production team, everybody from the bottom to the top, they put it together, including the Quintanilla family. It was really good, man. I know, because I've seen on social media, I mean, there's from 0 to 100 and 100 to 0 and in between, and some people don't look like it. And it's hard, man, to get everybody to look exactly the way we did. But I think the personalities were caught, like Ricky Vela and Joe and Chris, and of course, Selena, Suzette, Abraham, Marcela. The personalities were caught. I mean, do they look exactly? No, actually, Abraham does look pretty much like Abraham. And I think he's one of the closest. Selena, I think Selena did look like her. The thing is, I think we all have that image of J-Lo from the movie. And I really believe that J-Lo played a better older Selena. And I think this young lady played a better younger Selena. I think she looks better. And I think so. I think they have good things on both sides, but I think they did great. As a matter of fact, my character, I thought he kind of captured my. I'm kind of goofy and silly and Dude, I've always wanted to be tall. So I got my dream finally. I pray to God every day, please make me tall by morning. I finally got my dream. I'm tall in the movie, in the show, man. But I think he does capture that spirit. And Ricky Vela, who I love to death, was one of my best, all of us here, we're all great friends. And they kind of captured that kind of, he was kind of like the nerdy, guy kind of do all these little tidbits of information, and then he was like a techie guy. He was the techie guy with the band, but he was. I mean, he's a sweetheart, man. So I think in that sense they did capture the essence of who we were, the relationship that we had as a band, because we were like brothers and sisters, even us that were non-blood. You know, that's a relationship we had, and you know, Abraham treated us all equally. You know, like there wasn't like, okay, you guys are employees, I'm going to treat you different than my kids. We all got the same treatment, which wasn't cool all the time. But nonetheless, you know, it was, but I think they did catch the essence of it, man. I think they did a great job.
So my opinion about that clip is, I mean, well, I mean, that's his opinion. I mean, he feels as though that he likes the series. He thought that they did amazing. I'm not saying that the series is thebomb.com, but it ain't bad. It's not a bad series. I've seen worse movies. So that's his opinion, and he's entitled to it, just like I'm entitled to mine. So I really don't have much to say about that. But I will say he does have a point where a lot of us make the mistake of comparing J-Lo to, and I made that mistake as well, comparing J-Lo as Selena to Christian Santarato, I think that's her name, as Selena, and he's right. A lot of people, including myself, in the media have, you know, saying that she don't look like her, and all that. But I do not disagree with what he said about Christian, where she looks a lot like the younger Selena and J-Lo looked like the older Selena. I'm like, even though Christian did play Selena as a teenager on up to adulthood, she still played the same age as Selena as J-Lo did in the movie. So, I mean, they still kind of played the same age at one point in the movie and in the series. And I still feel like J-Lo did a better job as Selena regardless. By him saying that she looked like young Selena, like teenage Selena, I don't agree, but that's his opinion, and I'm not going to knock down his opinion, but in my opinion, I don't think she does. And yes, he's right. No one will ever come close to looking like the actual person you're playing. That's correct. And he said, but he feels as though the personalities were on point. Now, I will say, some like when she's trying to talk like Selena, it's close. I'm not gonna lie. Just like when J-Lo, you know, played Selena, and J-Lo did an awesome job because J-Lo is from New York, Bronx. So she did an awesome job playing a girl from Texas with a Texas draw, and she did that. Now, I'm not saying she did the exact like accent, but she had a country acetone to her pronunciation when she played Selena. So you couldn't even tell that she was from New York when she played Selena because she really practiced her accent. And Christian, yes, she did a great job trying to talk like Selena. Yes, I'm not gonna knock her down. She did do a good job, and I can hear some Selena in her voice when she was talking. But when it comes to looks, I'm sorry, I can't get past it. She don't look nothing like her. Now, you know, back then when they discredit J-Lo for playing her because she was of a different type of Latino and that she was from New York. I mean, like I said, she's an actor. That's what people do. They pretend to be someone that they're not. So I don't feel like, why is it a problem that she wasn't Mexican? Like, she's still Latina, and she speaks Spanish. Different type of Latinos have different dialects. I know that Mexicans have a different dialect than Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans have a different dialect than Colombians. Colombians have a different dialect than El Salvadorians. El Salvadorians have a different dialect than the Dominicans. So I mean, but at the end of the day, they all speak Spanish. They all kind of understand one another in a formal matter. Now, informal, some words are different, mean different in a Mexican dialect than in a Dominican dialect. So, I mean, yeah. So, but like I said, yes, J-Lo had got heat from playing Selena when she played her as I Will Be, which will be discussed when I post a clip of Suzette's interview with Entertainment Tonight. But like I said, overall, that's his opinion and he's entitled to it. And there's nothing more about that. Now, the last clip of that interview was this. Check it out.
Ask, do you have a relationship with Chris Perez?
I'm gonna say
That's a touchy subject. I just have to ask, because a lot of people want to know.
no. I think this is the thing, man. I have the same relationship with Chris Perez as with the rest of the band, like with Ricky, with Joe, with the rest of the family. And the thing is, me personally, I haven't been affected, but in the sense that they're going through a lot, them, the family and Chris, but I'm really not involved in it. So I really don't know. I just know what, it sometimes comes out on TV shows or on Gordo La Flaca or stuff like that, or, social media. But honestly, I really don't know what's going on aside from that. And it's a really touchy subject, man. And it's hard to get in the middle of it. Me personally, I wish things would just be right, and make things right. And life is short, man. And I think if anything we learned in 2020 is the value of time.
Yeah.
And I think it's a precious commodity because once you lose it, man, you're gonna get it back. So that's what I'm saying, that like just try to fix things, man. Try to fix things, make them right. And like I said, I really wish I could tell you more, but I really don't know. But I mean, I have a great relationship with Chris. Like I said, we don't see each other. We don't because first of all, nobody can see each other right now. But he has his own life. He has his own career, his own band and stuff like that. The one I hang out more is still with Joe because we still work together. But I mean, he's a great guy, man. And I love him, but I really don't know what the relationship between them is. And I really wish I could just fix it, man, and make things right and enjoy the time that we have together.
Absolutely. And I want to know if you had a relationship with him. So, just so we're clear, but yeah. I appreciate you touching on that.
So with that interview, it was basically saying the guy, Smooth Vega, wanted to know if Pete Astudillo had a relationship with Chris. Like, were they still cool? And, when I first saw that passage, I was kind of like, oh, he needed to drink some water to kind of get it out of there. Because I'm like, he seemed kind of hesitant. But I just think that he was just trying to save face. I think that he would, in my opinion, I think that, I'm not saying he don't like Chris. I believe he does like him. I think he's very neutral. I think he likes everybody. He's cool with everybody, that he doesn't have any beef with anyone. So he's just trying to, be neutral towards everybody because he doesn't want to take sides, or he doesn't want to feel like he has to take sides. So he's just being careful with what he says, which is fine by me because I'm kind of the same way. If I'm cool with this person and this person, but these two don't like each other, I just try to stay out the way. I just try to be neutral. I try to stay out of it. Like, I don't know. I'm just here, and he's basically just neutral, and he just wants the best for both of them, and he just wants them to work whatever they need to work out. And yeah, so overall, the interview was very positive, And if you want to see the full interview, check it out. I will put the link below if I can still find the video on YouTube. All right, so our next topic we're going to talk about is Suzette. She did an interview with Entertainment Tonight. I have a few clips of the interview. So the first clip was about the interviewer had told Suzette that none of the actors spent time with the actual people. And she was saying that it was not by choice, that, you know, it just
with you. None of the actors seem to spend time with your family in order to, really capture your essence or, learn your mannerisms. So I'm curious, why take this approach with the series?
It wasn't by choice, if anything. I just think that we're in 2020 now, Deidre, and there's YouTube. Thank goodness for YouTube and everything that's social media. I mean, I know that they saw a lot of videos and footage of us doing interviews, how we spoke, how we were. And I mean, I don't think, in my opinion, anyone can be exactly like another person.
Sure.
They can only give what they can give as actors. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Jackie Guerra actually came in 2 weeks before filming. She had to learn to play the drums. She had to tan because she was real wet out. She had to learn her lines and everything. And we didn't spend a lot of time together either. It's not like Abe or Chris were there hanging out with Jacob and with John, trying to, well, how would you say this or how would you say that? I think it was more about them actors doing what they normally do and researching.
I want to talk about our 2020 Netflix Selena the series.
She said basically they don't really need to, because there's social media and there's YouTube that they can get all the information from. And I'm just like, that's okay. Yes, that's valid, but I feel like that's mediocre research if you're an actor, portraying somebody in a movie. Now, I feel like, looking at YouTube, you're looking at the internet, that's something that myself would do, or like someone that's on a lower platform would do, because we're trying to give out content. But if it's somebody up there, like a up there actor and actress, you should be doing more than just the minimum, which is finding videos and interviews and old interviews and looking up stuff on Google and stuff like that. Yes, that's valid and that's great. That's a great start, but you should go above and beyond as an actor to reach out to this person, to have conversations with this person via either on FaceTime or in person or on the phone, or, go visit them and spend some time with them, because you really get to know a person when you're around that person. And you really feel that person's essence when you are around that person. That's why the saying always says, even in relationships, you don't really know the person unless you live with the person. You see how she said in the interview that when J-Lo played Selena, she lived with Suzette and she spent time with Suzette, and and you can tell that she spent quality time with her family, not only because she said it, it's because she lived it. It's because it was portrayed in the movie. You can tell that she really knew these people in and out because she spent quality time with them and she lived with them for a period. So that's how she really, really got to know them. And to this day, she is really close to the Quintanilla family. So I feel like as an actor, and they're trying to portray somebody in a popular movie or show, that they should go above and beyond than what's in front of them, which is easy access, like YouTube, Instagram, Google or whatever, because then you'll get mediocre work. And I'm not saying that I am saying that the series, it does come off as mediocre a little bit, because everything just looked kind of cheaply done, and it just it just didn't seem authentic. And this is my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, you know, and that's it in a nutshell. And you can just tell the difference. And yes, I'm comparing the movie to the series, and I know you really shouldn't, but it's about, at the end of the day, it's about the same, it's supposed to be about the same person, Selena. So I feel like you're going to compare it. I mean, whatever, but I feel like I don't agree with her when she said that, you know, I agree with her, but then I don't agree with her. I agree with her. Yes, you can use what's the sources that are easier access to you, but I feel like as an actor or actress that's portraying somebody, you should always go above and beyond if possible. Yes, I know it's a pandemic going on, but that's why it's always FaceTime. That's why it's always talking on the phone, you know, or if you do live in the same area, you know, meet up and practice social distancing and try to get to know the person. I'm just saying I mean, if they are still alive. If they're not, then yeah, you feed off on the media, the interviews, the TV shows or whatever that they played in, and gather their essence from there, or spend time with their family. I'm just saying, I don't agree with that part where she said that they didn't really need to, because I feel like if you want great work, then you should. Also, she also talked about, you know, the J-Lo and Selena thing. So I already kind of talked about that in the earlier part of this video when I talked about the peak review. So yeah. So the next clip is going to be about her talking about the ending of the first part of the series.
The series. It ends, of course, with your dad finding out about Selena and Chris's relationship, and he throws Chris out of the band. Why was that the perfect moment to end part 1 on?
I don't know. Dun, 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 dun. I let, you know, the production company and, you know, Netflix do their thing, and that was a call on their behalf. It wasn't something that we requested or wanted to do, but I think that if anything, that this series really, I think the second part is going to be a little bit more harder for me to you know, view and to, you know, it's hard, you know, it's a beautiful story and it ends so tragically, you know, and her not being here, I wish she was here, you know. Somebody asked me, what do you think Selena would say about this series? I was like, I think that she would have loved it.
It's a big part of the series that we see. Your character was...
So the next clip is about Suzette and the interviewer talking about the end of part 1 of the series, where Abraham finds out about Chris and Selena's relationship, and he fires him. So she implied in this interview that she did not approve of this relationship, that she was concerned because they were co-workers, and that's not something that you should do. It's not professional.
I gotta have your back. I don't think you should be dating this guy in the band. I mean, is that true? Were you kind of like the voice of reason always when it came to Selena's love life?
I'm always a voice of reason, even today. Oh yeah, I mean, because we all knew it was gonna go down. I mean, you know, dating somebody in the workplace is not a good idea. Stay focused, you know. And at the time also, after she got married with Chris, she was opening up her stores, and, you know, that whole thing was happening. So it was a lot of Selena being stretched in so many different ways. So we were just telling her to slow down. But in regards to, you know, her relationship with Chris, you know, it was one of those moments that exploded, and then she got married, and then it was like, okay, well, let's take off. We're going to go perform. You know?
Back to normal.
Back to normal, you know, and it's like, it is what it is. And, you know, one of the things that I'm very grateful for is the fact that, you know, my sister did get to experience falling in love. Ultimately, she lost her life early on. But I'm grateful. I've always said that I'm grateful that she knew what falling in love was all about.
You know, you kind of talked earlier about how, you know,
And I'm just like, okay, somebody's lying here, because in the book, To Selena with Love, written by Chris Perez, aka Selena's husband, in the book, I remember, and I've read this book several times, and I will say this: I never once read that Suzette had an issue with their relationship until she snitched on him. And like I said, when she explained, you know, why she didn't approve of their relationship in this interview, I almost felt sorry for her, because it was like she was nervous. And that's why I'm like, I don't really believe her, because she seemed very nervous when answering that question, and she was stumbling over her words. And I stumble over my words a lot, because I'm nervous, because A, I could be nervous, and B, because not because I'm lying or nothing, just because I'm nervous. Like, I'm still trying to get used to this YouTube thing. But also I have a lot of ideas and a lot of things in my head that, you know, coming at me at once. So, you know, it messes with me. But with her, it seems like her response, it seems as though she's trying to cover up something, or that she's like not telling the whole story. And like I said, it don't match with the book, because in the book, he made it seem like Suzette was cool with them being together. She was nervous about the dictator finding out. So I'm like, somebody ain't telling the whole truth. And then on top of that, like I said before, in the book, he made it seem like Suzette and him were very close. Not like romantically close, but they were close friends. They were close friends before he became close with Selena. So, like I said, if Suzette was disapproving of their relationship, and it was in the book, then I wouldn't be so surprised that she snitched on them when she saw them together on a bus, because it would already have been explained that she did not approve of their relationship and that they shouldn't be together. Then I would have understood why she snitched on them. But that wasn't the case, because in the story, she was okay with it. She was just nervous about the dad finding out. And so that's why I felt like it was that's why I sensed that it was some type of jealousy, because I'm like, she was cool with them, so why did she snitch on them? But that's not what she was explaining in this interview. So I'm like, somebody ain't telling the whole truth, or somebody withholding information. I don't know. I believe Chris. I don't believe her. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. It's just how she came off in that, when answering that question, it just doesn't seem honest. It seemed like she's withholding information, which that's her prerogative, because we're not entitled to know everything that goes on behind closed doors. But I'm saying, if you're being asked that question, and if you're volunteering to answer it, then answer it honestly, period. Now, all that stuff about, oh, they're co-workers, so what? So what? And you act like she act like they were working in an office building. It's a freaking band. Not saying that that's less than, but it's not professional in the terms of office or corporate. It's not corporate America. Y'all are in a music band. If they fall in love, they fall in love. Long as it didn't, mess up the way of things in terms of the performance, and it didn't. But I don't know. But I feel like somebody ain't telling the whole truth. Somebody ain't saying the whole truth, or they taking out important details about that situation. Anyway, I just received some information from someone in the comment section saying that one of the band members from La Mafia responded to the Dictator, so on his Facebook page. So I'm going to read the entire passage, because it's very long. So, for Dictator. First of all, I want to emphasize how much I love Selena as a friend and have the utmost respect and pride for her amazing career, as well as the Quintanilla family, which I still regard as friends. As one of the payasos mentioned in his rant, I would like to make clear that the only reason we comment about Selena is because we are always asked questions by media. Since it's a well-known fact in our industry of our association with Selena y los Dinos in the late 80s and early 90s, we met Selena in 1984 when I think Selena was about 13 in Angleton, Texas at Bobby Joe's club. We were promoting our new single, Mi Loca Pasión. And Oscar would select fans from the audience to come up on stage and sing the song, and a little girl was waving her hand to pick her, and it was Selena. So Oscar is Oscar de la Rosa. He's one of the band members of La Mafia. I hope I said his name right. After the show, Mr. Quintanilla, along with the family, came out to our bus and he introduced himself and the family. He became friends with our manager at the time, Henry Gonzalez, Oscar's brother. We started taking Selena y los Dinos on tour in 1986. She toured all over Texas with us as a special guest and performed her last show with us in 1991 at the Summit in Houston, along with our other special guests that night, Roberto Polito and Emilio Navaria. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. We have never said we gave her start, but we have stated facts about our friendship. We all have people that help us in our beginnings, as we always give credit to Little Joe as we always give credit to Little Joe y La Familia for helping us in our start. There is nothing demeaning in saying Selena opened shows for us. In 1989, Selena y los Dinos were an opening act in a big festival in Rosenberg, Texas, which La Mafia was headlining. The promoter had little solid gold microphone pendants made for the lead singles, for one for Oscar and two of the other co-headliners. Oscar felt sorry for Selena because one wasn't given to her, and he gave her his gold microphone, which was later returned to Oscar at the funeral because the family knew how much she loved that gift. There are actually a few publicity photos where she is wearing that gold microphone. I tried to find it, but I got tired of searching. But if you find a picture, please send it to me on my Instagram or to my email, tiashow86@gmail.com. I'll have my email in the description as well. As you can already imagine, there are many, many, many stories of our friendship. The last time I saw Selena was in 1994 when she came along with her mom to Houston to see our new recording studio. I took them to eat at one of her favorite Cajun restaurants in town and promised to go to Corpus to see her new boutique, which I sadly didn't get to visit till the day of her funeral. I will finish by saying the only reason I responded to his silly post is because my band La Mafia has worked too hard and disrespected in this way by him claiming we were jealous and following the leader. We have been blessed with a 41-year career and God willing many more. We love music and we love our fans, and we will try to continue creating great memories for them. Selena has become a world icon, and I will always treasure my friendship with her with pride and joy. Armando Lichtenberger Jr. And that's that. Now, all we can do is wait for the dictator to respond to him. But hey, he poured his heart out. He said what he said, and that is it, and that is period. And now, like I said, that is it, and that is period. And I will be back with another video. Peace.